Gamerman, what movie is worst example of remaking a movie as a sequel? Superman Returns, where you recast all the characters with new actors, or The Force Awakens tells the same story with new characters? I mean, I think they're two different situations. Superman Returns is a legacy sequel of a different era. It has its problems. I don't know that it was necessarily the right direction. Well, it wasn't the right direction to go. So Superman in 1978, if you look at where the comics were at, feels like this bygone era of aw shucks, Clark Kent and Superman. And that's why the movie's very dated for a lot of people, because it is just this very old version of Superman. And then in the mid-'80s, comics matured a great deal, and they did the Man of Steel run. Of course, you had Frank Miller doing all the stuff with Batman. Watchmen comes out, and so you get this much more mature version of comic book characters. And the Lex Luthor character, prior to a lot of this, had been a mad scientist that was just a mustache-twirling supervillain. And then after Man of Steel, Lex Luthor becomes this much more nuanced character who's more of kind of an evil point to like Bruce Wayne, where he's this public rich figure, but he's actually a supervillain behind the scenes, and where he runs all these corporations, becomes president. And so then you see even Lois and Clark, the TV show in the early 90s, has that version of Lex Luthor. And then that's the Lex Luthor in Smallville. That's great. And then you get to Superman Returns, and Lex Luthor is just this wild guy that wants to do real estate schemes with kryptonite, shooting it into the water or whatever. This feels ancient. Like this isn't where Superman is at. This worked almost 30 years ago. But that 30 years in the development of Superman, a lot has changed. So I think because of all of that, I think that The Force Awakens, it has its faults, but it was trying to get people excited about Star Wars again for a new generation. There was an on-ramp. And so then it was a soft reboot, a soft remake of A New Hope. And especially looking back, they didn't have a plan. So there's none of it, and none of it's explained. Like, what is the First Order exactly? Like, what are even the Knights of Ren? We did nothing with the Knights of Ren. Like, what? But at the time, it got people excited about Star Wars, that it was an homage film, that played it safe, it played it familiar, but it did it in a way that was fun and exciting. It did its job. Superman Returns didn't even get a sequel because it just felt too ancient in the wrong ways.
Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.